Well, thank you all for joining us tonight on the Scarlet Soiree. I can barely say it. Scarlet Soiree, Scarlet Soiree, Scarlet Soiree. So glad we're doing the Scarlet Soiree, and I did my best to get my soiree on, and as well my Scarlet too. I was standing on the red carpet, hoping that I would see you, and I know it'd be a little more difficult. Now, we typically host this event annually, but we usually do it at a much smaller scale, and we usually do it in a much cooler venue. So I'm going to leave the scale and the venue up to you. If you've got a cooler venue, well, oh, okay, great. If not, well, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we are here, and that's what's really important for us right now. And we usually do this on that small scale for our parent and family advisory board members and for our student commencement speaker finalists, as well as their family and friends too. So, without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our host. And our host for this evening are Emmy Award winning casting director Junie Lowry Johnson. And you might know from some of the things that I know I watch, like Homeland, True Blood, True Detective, Deadwood, The Umbrella Academy, and more. And Junie, I think I watch all that stuff. So just so we're clear about that. And then you're also being hosted with her husband, Bill Johnson. He's also an award-winning film and television producer. Again, movies and other things that I've seen, like Secretariat, A Walk to Remember, I Love You, Man, Fear the Walking Dead, which I really love. I'm a big fan, and more. And what's more, the Johnsons are fellow parents, and they'll be hosting the event with Catherine Kennedy. You see over there, we know Catherine as the director of the Howard Thurman Center for Common Ground. And I guess I get to co-host too. So I'll be doing that as well. Let me point out too, we got a few other people who join us. We also have Daryl DeLuca, who's our Assistant Dean of Students in the house. There he is, Daryl. And Christy Loring, who's the Director of our Parent and Family Programs with us as well. So without further ado, and to take you on this wonderful trip that we're about to go on tonight, let me introduce Bill and Junie Johnson. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Dean Elmore. It is wonderful to be here, and we are truly thrilled to be invited to join you in honoring the graduating class of 2020. We are fellow Boston University parents. Our son Henry graduated from BU's College of Arts and Sciences in dual degrees 3 years ago. We wanted to help celebrate the class of 2020 and their families because we have loved being a part of this BU family, which is why we have remained so engaged well after our son's graduation. Our BU experience not only shaped our son's life, but it also shaped ours as well. And for example, we have become very good friends with Ken Elmore, Daryl DeLuca, Christy Loring, and Catherine Kennedy. So when they asked us to join this celebration, we were delighted to participate and to join our friends in supporting the extended BU family. College graduation is an important milestone in your student's life, but also in your own. You've worked very hard to get to this point, supporting your students every step of the way, and it's time to honor you.
So I'd like to introduce the commencement speaker finalists. We're now honored to share with you this year's student commencement speakers. There are 3 of them, and they've agreed to join us tonight to share their speeches. Their remarks are fantastically heartfelt, and you still have the amazing student commencement speakers address at the formal ceremony to look forward to. Let's welcome our first speaker, Renata Nunes, who graduated from the College of Arts and Sciences with degrees in history and political science, magna cum laude. Additionally, Renata is the former vice president of BU's Diversity in Law Association and is an aspiring immigration lawyer. Renata hails from Clinton, Massachusetts. Renata.
Thank you, Bill and Junie Johnson, for the introduction. It's an honor to be speaking with all of you here today. Class of 2020. Our incredible journey as BU Terriers began in the summer of 2016, when we collectively uprooted ourselves from 74 different countries and 49 US states. We meandered into Boston from every corner of the globe. For some, it was Logan Airport that greeted you, while others undertook an atypical American road trip conducted for the sole purpose of leaving you on campus. So whether you sat waiting for a bus on the Silver Line at Logan, or fixed in the passenger seat of a sedan, cruising in from I-90, you knew and that a new world and a new reality awaited you. As for me, I was on the road that fateful Friday morning in early September of 2016. My trek was a 35-minute car drive coming in from Clinton, Massachusetts. I had grown up in that small Irish-American town as a Brazilian American. My family and I had immigrated from the suburbs of Brasilia to Massachusetts when I was just a child. And from my earliest memories of infancy, I remember never quite fitting in. Although I was naturalized as an American citizen, my skin was not as pale as my peers, nor my eyes the bright blue characteristic of those Celtic descendants. Everybody in my immediate family spoke with an accent, and my name was always derided as foreign. And so, I looked yearningly to the grass on the other side, but it wasn't greener. You see, I was proud of my Brazilian heritage, and I emphasized it constantly. But whenever I returned back to Brazil, my own family members perceived me to be an American. Who was I then? A wanderer, forever wandering the world, searching for those like myself, but never belonging anywhere? But on campus, I found myself because I could be myself, for I was surrounded by those who understood me, as we were all forced to endure the same trials and tribulations characteristic of my own life experiences. At BU, we were all migrants, coming in from different and distant places. We were individuals seeking a better life and more opportunities. As migrants, we cried in our worn dorm rooms over loved ones living far, far away. At Marciano Commons, we reminisced over home-cooked meals from back home. We joined cultural, communal, artistic, and religious organizations that connected us to the places we came from. We even argued on the phone with loved ones over what they perceived to be impolite Bostonian mannerisms and were personified by those back home as different to who you were when you first left for college. Under these circumstances, we connected with each other, and in a matter of months, complete strangers from the hinterlands of Turkey, China, India, the UAE, Texas, Hawaii, and Mexico became our friends, our confidants, and for some, even lovers. Unfortunately, this chapter in our lives was interrupted by a seemingly insignificant enemy. COVID-19 came to wreak havoc and tragedy. But even in this war, we found hope. Although separated, we were not alone. Distances of seas and of continents were shortened by the sense of togetherness that grew in the midst of solitude. And therefore, we have transformed something bad into something unforgettable. And now marks the end of our unforgettable season as Terriers. But a piece of Boston remains in us forever. As the alumni of Boston University, we are forever united by our shared experiences. United as a force of hundreds of thousands of BU graduates, sprinkled in all parts of the world we must, in the words of BU alum Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have the courage to change. We can enact such change if we, as Martin Luther King Jr. emphasized on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963, work together, pray together, struggle together, go to jail together, and fight for freedom together. Today, we stand as a new generation of Boston University alums. It is obligatory that with 2020 vision, we lead the way towards a better future. As we say goodbye, we accept our new collective identity as wanderers. Although we do not hold the BU passport, it is as though we are reveling in our new-found citizenship. With our diplomas in hand, we return to the places we came from, and that piece of paper will open doors. Those who sat in our seats before our time have changed the world. I ask that, like our predecessors, we continue to shatter glass ceilings, to fight for the marginalized, to be the first in our families to graduate from college and to become renowned engineers, mathematicians, and economists. Together, with courage, we lead the way towards a better future, molded and shaped by our doing. Together, with courage, we can turn a hateful and violent yesterday into a more inclusive and egalitarian tomorrow. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the class of 2020.
All right, listen, I want everybody to take themselves off mute and give a really wonderful round of applause. Thank you, Renata. I want to hear that round of applause all the way to Newton College or Boston College, whatever they call it, that sort of thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go be you, sing her praises loud and true. We'll fight for our alma mater, on to sure victory. Fight, fight, fight. Go be you, down the ice to soar. Our hearts are ready as we leap before we hail you, all you.
Please.
Now, please join us in welcoming our second speaker, Christine Jimenez. Christine hails from Bayonne, New Jersey, graduated from Sargent College, cum laude, where she studied behavior and health. She also received the Scarlet Key Award. Christine, New Jersey, graduated. Where am I?
Just go, she plans.
She plans to continue her studies in Sargent College and the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program. Christine?
Thank you, Ken Elmore, Bill and Junie Johnson, Catherine Kennedy, esteemed guests, family, and friends. And to the class of 2020, felicidades, gong shi, bad hai ho, tahanina. And congratulations. On this momentous occasion, I reflect back to my first time visiting Boston University. I was just a high schooler, 17 years old. I remember the excitement, the nervousness, and the adrenaline from driving 100 miles an hour to get here in time for the admissions tour. We made it in time. Wait, more like my mom, my sister, and I made it on time. My dad was stuck finding parking. Either way, we made it. 4 years later, I, Christine Jimenez, a proud Dominican ancestor, stands before you as we prepare to officially call ourselves the graduates of Boston University's class of 2020. Although we all approach this finish line together, metaphorically, we've all had our unique obstacles or hurdles that we've had to overcome. Some of us started our college careers elsewhere, while others have been at BU for all 4 years. Feels more like 3.5, but you get the gist. Regardless of when you started your time here at Boston University, we're all part of the BU legacy, a part of this community. We are Terriers. So let's break it down. What does that actually mean? As Howard Thurman said, community cannot for long feed on itself. It can only flourish with the coming of others from beyond. They're unknown and undiscovered brothers. From looking around the room, it's clear that Boston University's community is not only large, but it's also diverse. There are more than 3,500 students who hail from 49 states and 74 countries. Each and every one of us entered Boston University as a member of our own families, our hometowns, and native countries. We brought with us our own values, languages, and customs. This diversity is what makes BU so special. It enables us to work alongside and learn from individuals of different backgrounds, identities, and worldviews. Something I probably wouldn't have been able to experience in my small hometown of Bayonne, New Jersey. Although we are all so different, one thing we all have in common is that we've been exposed to the new ideas, new cultures, new construction sites, and of course, new viruses. Although COVID-19 has drastically influenced our spring breaks, our study abroad plans, our on-campus learning, and much more, we didn't stop engaging with one another. Whether it was engaging with the larger questions on culture, society at the HTC, whether in person or online, or working with students who specialize in different fields in the Build Lab, or setting up a Zoom call with friends or professors, or even interacting with residents as an RA. Our greatest asset at BU is our commitment to engagement, and that's not going to end. During my time here at BU, I realized that it isn't always about getting good grades or getting that amazing internship or a top-notch job. It's actually about learning from one another, being accepting and willing to learn from one another. Now that is what being a terrier is all about. So as terriers, we are constantly engaging authentically and humbly with individuals of different backgrounds through common ground, both inside and outside of the classroom. For Questrom students, it's through working in groups for core. For previous CGS students, it was completing your capstone project. For CFA, it's composing, creating art, and sharing it with others. For COM, it's creating sergeant students. It's going out into your intended profession and completing your practicum. And for those in CAS, it can pretty much be all of the above. Together, we make up the BU community. Together, we make up the class of 2020. So this is not the end of our journey. This is actually just the beginning. Some of us will go on to complete formal education like medical school or grad school, and others will go straight into being leaders in their fields. Either way, we will always be the first graduating class of the decade. So for that, congratulations to the class of 2020.
All right, one more time. Take it off mute and let's hear you. Yes, indeed. Woo! Thank you, Christine. All right, one more time. Take it off mute and let's hear you.
We are also honored to introduce Yujin An. Yujin was a dual degree student who hails from Brookline, Massachusetts. She studied at the College of Arts and Sciences and the College of Fine Arts, majoring in biology, pre-med, and violin performance. She graduated cum laude and is currently applying to medical school. Yujin?
Hello, faculty, family, and my fellow class of 2020. We gather here today to celebrate our academic achievements and personal growth in our years at BU. My name is Yujin An. As mentioned, I'm a graduate of the CFA and CAS dual degree program, majoring in violin performance and biology pre-med. Entering freshman year, I thought it was odd that everyone introduced themselves by their majors. But after the first few weeks, I learned the social equation that comes with the specific majors. Engineering majors are smart, communication majors are cool, Questrom majors are shady, theater majors are loud, and pre-medical track people are crazy. In the first months of college, we relied heavily on this system in the desperate hopes to find our niches of friends. But the cliche acronym of our university told us to be you and shape ourselves beyond the stereotypical characteristics of our majors. Our diverse experiences, both within and outside the classrooms, taught us important lessons. Our first winters in BU taught us resilience. The whipping winds and icy Commonwealth Avenue made us fall, but we still got up and acted like we weren't embarrassed. We also tested the resilience of our livers. We learned how to do a thirsty Thursday, attend the Friday 8 a.m. lecture, and then crawl around Alston all weekend. We learned how to handle bad grades with grace. My first general chemistry exam made me cry so hard that I lost a contact lens on the way home. Our experiences help build our character beyond the classic definition of our majors, and our most difficult experiences instilled our core values. Personally, this past winter was one of my most difficult moments at BU. My grandfather passed away during final season. I never imagined a world without my Hadabaji's soft hugs or loud cheering at my violin recitals. But during that final season, I felt my Hadabaji through the people at BU. My friends listened and held me through the tears. My professors met with me outside of class, helping me balance the loss of a dear family member and the stress of exams. While my immediate family had flown to Korea, I realized that I had been blessed with another family here in Boston. In our time here at BU, we have all experienced loss and disappointment, whether it be in academia, relationships, or ourselves. But the support of those around us helped us use these moments to grow and define ourselves. Our professors chose to believe in us when we doubted our abilities. Our friends cheered us on to do both great and stupid deeds. And our families reminded us of our roots and supported us through it all. The love in these relationships helped us find real resilience and strength. In our years here, we were also defined by the compassion we gave others. The open conversations in the classrooms and opportunities of service taught us about systemic inequalities and social responsibility. We fundraised to stop the abuse of migrants in the inhumane Southern detention centers. We marched the streets for women to have real equality in pay and protection from sexual misconduct. We stood by our LGBTQ brothers and sisters to show that gender and sexual orientation is no means for discrimination. The classroom debates and deeper learning of social inequalities inspired me to start a program that teaches classical music to underprivileged students in the greater Boston area. Although I intended to do the teaching, these young students taught me the effects that abuse, poverty, and homelessness can have on trust and relationships. The deeper conversations about police and their home lives revealed the undeniable fears and social disparities that come with being Black and Latinx in the US. But these same students also taught me that compassion can heal through deep interpersonal connection. This is the lesson that BU has taught me over and over. Through the everyday life here, the loss of my Hadabaji, and the students in the greater Boston area. Relationships built on compassion can heal and connect us. We've all felt and learned the power of compassion in the classrooms, on the sports fields and arenas, on stage, in our everyday walk, and in our city, Boston. This pandemic has shown that compassion is most difficult, needed but most difficult in times of fear. Some have let the fear of COVID-19 justify racism. Our news outlets continue to pour in reports and videos of Asian people getting attacked. The president has intentionally decided to call COVID-19 the Chinese virus and continues to spew racist sentiment. The xenophobic agenda attempts to apply blame to one group and seek unity through hate. But the US, Italy, and Spain have shown that COVID-19 is impartial to race, much like our kindness should be. We are graduating at a time of political, social, medical, and economic turmoil. Perhaps we should delay our leave from BU. But our society still wants those smart engineers, the cool journalists, crazy doctors, and shady businessmen, excluding the one from office right now. And more importantly, our society needs compassionate people. We will all face challenges in our new jobs, relationships, cities, and in the next steps dealing with COVID-19. But we will also remember how we dealt with fear in our time at BU. We chose to rely and trust our professors, friends, and family to guide us through our most difficult moments. We chose to stay open and reach out rather than to give in to fearful hate. We chose to connect with our community and give back love and respect. Our BU education taught us that we can always choose compassion. I hope we never stop defining ourselves by our capacity of love. And when times get tough, I hope we remember that we can always find compassion and rest at BU. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Take it off mute. We can always find compassion. Thank you, Eugene. Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Well, last but certainly not least is Mackin Murphy, who is our student commencement speaker. And while he can't share his speech with you tonight, he is able to share a few thoughts with us this evening to celebrate this special occasion. Mackin was a double major in history and biological anthropology, graduating magna cum laude. In the coming year, Mackin will be serving in the AmeriCorps and publishing his first book before pursuing a PhD. Mackin hails from Barrington, Rhode Island. Mackin, take it away.
It's an honor to be here, even if here is on a computer screen. And let me just say that the honor of being this year's graduation speaker has really been magnified by tonight, as I had not previously heard the other speeches that were in the running. Christine, Eugene, Renata, you're all fantastic. Of course, I will not be reading my speech tonight. I will save those remarks for graduation, whenever that may be. But I do have a few brief words that I'd like to say. We often think about graduation as the celebration of a student's achievement, but there is not a single student at Boston University who did it alone. Growing up, we needed you to prepare us. We needed rides to school growing up. We needed help with our homework. We needed help applying for colleges and studying for the SAT, not to reawaken old nightmares. And while the training wheels came off once we got to BU, even then, even here, we still needed someone we could call when we felt homesick, or when we needed help deciding on a major, or recently deciding on a job. And in the last few months, we've seen that we still needed a place we can come home to. We've needed you every step of the way. Though every student will walk across the graduation stage alone, each of us will do so pushed forward by the hands of those who love them. While I have no idea when it will be, know that when we do meet for graduation, it will be a celebration not just for us, but for you. I can't wait to see you all there.
You can imagine, as a parent of 3 Boston University graduates, how happy you just made me feel.
I'm very glad to hear that.
My apology. Renata, Christine, Eugene, and Matt Kennan, thank you so much for your amazing and inspiring words. Please join us in giving all of our student speakers a round of applause for their outstanding presentations. Now, stay tuned for a video recap of the past 4 years. We're sure that many of you, it seems like you moved your student into their freshman residence hall just yesterday, but a lot has transpired in these 4 years, and we'd like to take you down memory lane.
Money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't f with you. I'm a boss, you a worker. I make bloody moves. Super Bowl 51.
I'ma show you how to get it. It go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically, I'm saying either way, we bout to slide.
All you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Edelman comes down with a football, and they're saying it's a catch. 2nd and 3. Down the field they go. Gronkowski has it. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
For the 4th time, the United States of America are crowned champions of the world.
Great video.
Oh, it's great.
Well, I'm going to ask Bill and Junie and Catherine Kennedy and Daryl and Christy to all raise a glass if you can. And it shouldn't be water, by the way. I hear that's bad luck. But to the class of 2020, to a bunch of young folk that we've worked with for a long time, we certainly wish them, like we wish everyone, manifestations of global health and peace, but all the best to them, that they will go out and not only change the world, but let the world change them. Peace. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And even better, before we do that, to their wonderful families, friends, their aunties, their aunts, their uncles, their mothers, their fathers, their papas, their omas, their opas, their mamas, and their daddies. Congratulations to you too. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
And now, Catherine, take it away.
Yeah, mute Catherine.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to unmute. So stay with us for a performance by the Sons of Serendip that was recorded at Boston University's College of Communication a few years ago for the BU community. The 4 members of this group are all BU grads, like your students. They were not all music majors. In fact, they were in graduate school, different graduate schools at Boston University, when they came together serendipitously. Sons of Serendip were finalists on season 9 of America's Got Talent. The performance will be immediately followed by a video made by fellow BU students a few years ago that exemplifies just how special the BU experience is and how much our students grow during their time here in Boston, which will always be a part of them.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond the illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason. My charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. on a stormy sea of moving emotion. Tossed about, I'm like a ship on the ocean. Set a course for winds of fortune. But I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Don't you cry no more. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Well, you see Kendall, Cordero, Mason, and Micah all a part of this wonderful, wonderful group of alums who have always come through for us. So at some point, we do need to go. You need to have that party in your room or your living room or that other place where you might have excitement. You know, tonight's a night for those folks who have supported a lot of young people through everything that they do. Family members, and I said it before, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, the brothers, the sisters, the mothers, the fathers, the omas and emas, the opas, the mothers and the fathers. All of you have done incredible work to put some fine people into this world. We had a chance to also hear from some of our incredible young people. I have been doing this work for a long time, and I will tell you, I don't know if it was the COVID and the screen, but they came through with some of the most heartfelt conversations and speeches that I've ever seen. And then, you know, we will meet again in the future as soon as the governor and the COVID lets us do that. So I hope to see you sometime really soon once we make that announcement. I give another extended thanks to Bill and Junie, to Daryl and to Christy for joining us today, and to Catherine Kennedy for her work as well. And I hope that we will see each other soon. And even more so, I hope that I can give you a handshake, a hug, a kiss on the cheek, of course, with consent, but also to be able to say, so good to see you. So good to see you. And tonight, it has been wonderful to see you.